Welcome to World News by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you value calm, fact-based reporting on how information spreads and shapes public debate, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Today, we look at how pro-Trump influencers have responded to the release of the Epstein files, documents that have generated renewed discussion and controversy in political circles. After the U.S. Department of Justice released a large set of documents related to the late financier Jeffrey Epstein, many online commentators and social media personalities aligned with former President Donald Trump began analyzing and sharing their interpretations of the material. These influencers range from commentators with large followings on platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube to political podcasters and meme accounts with significant reach. Their responses share a few common themes: questioning the completeness of the documents, emphasizing mentions of political figures, and disputing media characterizations of the files. Some dubbed the release a smear campaign, arguing that references to established public figures, including Donald Trump, are being portrayed out of context. Others highlighted internal emails and passenger manifests that include names known from past social interactions, suggesting that their mere presence in the files does not imply wrongdoing. Influencers often pair clips from the documents with commentary that frames the story as evidence of political bias in media coverage or government transparency policies. They urge their audiences to read for themselves, encouraging sharing of selected excerpts while casting doubt on mainstream reporting. This pattern reflects a broader trend in digital political communication. Social media personalities can rapidly amplify particular narratives, shape the terms of online discussion, and influence how audiences interpret complex documents. In this case, the Epstein files, already vast and heavily redacted, become a focal point for broader debates about media trust, elite accountability, and partisan framing. Supporters of these influencers say they provide counter-narratives to mainstream media, offering alternative interpretations and questioning established assumptions. They emphasize the importance of independent voices in holding powerful institutions accountable and enabling audiences to explore material beyond curated headlines. The messaging around the Epstein files highlights how political influence today is closely tied to digital ecosystems. First, social media platforms allow influencers to reach millions of users instantly. A single post, video, or thread can spark viral discussion, shape trending topics, and direct audiences toward specific interpretations. In the case of the Epstein files, this has meant a flood of commentary that often focuses less on the substantive contents of the documents and more on political framing. Second, audiences increasingly receive information through filtered networks that align with their existing beliefs. Pro-Trump influencers often speak to followers who already distrust mainstream reporting. In this environment, alternative narratives gain traction quickly, and efforts to contextualize or correct misinformation can struggle to gain the same attention. Third, the influence of social media figures raises questions about accountability and verification. Unlike traditional journalism, which adheres to editorial standards and fact-checking, the incentives of digital influencers are shaped by engagement metrics: likes, shares, and comments. Content that provokes controversy or emotional response tends to spread faster, even if it oversimplifies or misrepresents complex material like legal documents. Experts note that this dynamic affects not only political discourse but public understanding of institutions and government transparency. When multifaceted releases of documents are interpreted through highly partisan lenses, audiences may draw conclusions that reflect ideological predispositions rather than a balanced assessment of evidence. At the same time, some observers argue that this environment encourages civic engagement. Users who might otherwise ignore dense government disclosures are invited into discussion, even if the quality of that engagement varies widely. The challenge, then, is not only how information is shared, but how citizens develop tools to evaluate claims critically. In the broader political landscape, the response to the Epstein files highlights how digital personalities now hold sway in shaping narratives that once passed through traditional media gatekeepers. Whether this leads to greater scrutiny of official actions, deeper polarization, or a mix of both remains an open question. Thank you for watching this analysis on World News by Denis Halandzovskyi. If you found this breakdown helpful, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Independent reporting helps us understand not just events, but how they are interpreted and communicated in a digital age. Stay informed and see you in the next update.